What's up, guys? Studfit here. We have now episode 30 of Kart Talk. I can't believe we're breaking the third 10 decade there. I cannot believe what an awesome experience this has been over the last 13 months or so. But we have Super Stud Frenzy Grind. Welcome, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited for all the confusion. Let's get it going.
Man, we got a packed episode. I cannot wait to get into it, but I have to do some introductions because we do have some familiar faces, such as Cathangel and Draco. Welcome to you guys. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm doing fantastic either. Thanks for having me again.
So Cathangel, is this actually her second episode? She was on early in season 1. Happy to have her back, a good friend and fellow ER member. And then Draco has won, I think, maybe our fourth contest. Every Monday we have member multiplayer Mondays. We've even made it so that someone can only play just 2 of the Mondays in the month and still be able to do really well. In fact, Matt Aldridge, who has his own YouTube channel, he only joined twice and he actually finished second, only behind Draco. And he was invited to come here, but fortunately, I think there's obviously time zones of him being in New Zealand and everything. It didn't work at the last minute, but he and Draco are right now closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So there's a link in the description to Draco's channel. If you haven't already subscribed to Draco and his awesome mushroom legacy, feel free to go ahead and do so. We'll be here when on your way back. But Draco, he's won it now 4 times in a row for the member multiplayer Monday. He's a phenomenal multiplayer player, and he's now running our CWL league for ER, and excited to see how he does. But he is a master when it comes to multiplayer. Excited to have you on as a prize for winning. And we also have Matt, which he'll be redeeming his second place invitation to Kart Talk, as well as also Crazy, who got third place, will be joining us probably later in September. But excited to have some familiar faces. But we have 2 new faces, people who have been on my list of who I wanted to invite onto the channel for quite some time. We have PepperRabbit. Welcome, Pepper. How are you doing?
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good. And we also have Clownington, not Clownington, Clownington. Yeah. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's good to be here. I know you've asked me a couple of times and I've never been able to, but now I'm here. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've before we get any further, I'd love to hear both of yours origin stories. Also like to hear Cathangel's as well. But starting with you, Clownington, tell us how you got started in Mario Kart Tour and kind of what keeps you vibing, what keeps you excited about the game going into this third year.
Well, I started playing at launch, but then I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like anything about it really. But then I got back into it in the first Mario versus Luigi Tour in 2020. And then I started getting really into it in I think like the Berlin Tour or the Cat Tour right after it. And I've just been playing it like hardcore nonstop ever since. Huge Mario Kart fan. I've played all the games for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, current goal is to get to tier 80. I'm currently tier 76. So I'm almost there. And yeah, huge Peach fan. I'm a big fan of the Mushroom Legacy.
Oh, thank you. I'm a huge fan of you too.
I'm also huge Peach fan, huge Shy Guy fan. So yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, glad to have you. Obviously been member for a couple months now, and happy to have you in the fam. We also have PepperRabbit, who I've seen on some of the Frenzy fans content, and I think you've been a member there for a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your origin story of how you got started in Mario Kart Tour, and what's some of the things that keep you energized about the game today.
Oh yeah. So I've been a day 1 player casually for, I guess, until the snow tour of the last year. I didn't really save rubies to pull pipes like you're supposed to right now. I kind of like pulled when I got rubies, and that was a bad thing to do. But when the Yoshi tour came out last year, I was excited to pull the white Yoshi pipe that he came out in debut. And I was like, because I was a big fan of Black Yoshi. He was always in ranked, and seeing another Yoshi, different color, it was something to be excited about. And I had enough rubies to clear the pipe and get him actually a couple times, because I got him like the first 10 pull. So I was able to pull him again, and then the next, I don't know, 50 or so, and clear the pipe again. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Ever since then, I've done I've gotten all the coinbox drivers and leveled them up. And I guess the Paris tour of last year is when I first got my first ACR top 1000 badge. And ever since I've gotten ACR top 1000, and I guess the Metropolitan tour, I got top 100 for the first time.
Congratulations.
But yeah, the top 1000 ACR keeps me going in this game. I love the grind throughout every tour, every 2 weeks. It's awesome to keep going and yeah, be part of the community, all the discords and YouTube channels and whatnot. It's awesome to be a part of this community.
There's been a couple times where I've been streaming and you've given me some solid advice there too. So I appreciate that. On a scale, just so people know, like, you know, that top 1000 ACR badge and in what context of what size whale are you from, you know, 0 to 10? Where would you say you fall?
0 to 10, I would probably be about a 7 or a 6. So I buy packs that help my account. I don't buy packs every tour. I haven't bought a pack for like 3 tours now, actually. But yeah, if there's something in the shop that I've like leveled up and I still use, I'll buy it. Or if there's a new item that I kind of like and does something for my inventory just a little bit, I'll probably buy it. But yeah, probably about a 7 out of 10. I'm just not like, not spend, but I do spend a little bit. So.
Well, hopefully if people are listening to this in a few months, they'll remember how cool it was pulling on pipes. We'll be talking a lot about what's coming from that. But Cathangel, remind us a little bit about your origin story. When did you start playing the game? Where do you fall on the whale scale? And what keeps you excited about the game today?
Well, for those who saw the previous episode I was on, I'm a day one player, actually. I heard about the game through I think it was the like internet news that like I keep track of Mario Kart or any Mario franchise news, and I heard that there was gonna be like a Mario Kart Tour game, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I was pretty casual for a little while, like just trying to figure out like the mechanics of the game. But I really got into it, like started learning drifting, etc., how to save tickets, how to use tickets when like around March of 2020. So like when everything shut down because of COVID and we had the time to learn these things. And on a scale of 1 to 10, yeah, I'm pretty much lopsided on the whale side. So I'd probably 8 or 9. Solid.
But you have World Cup ranking too. I think you and Frenzy Grind have been pretty consistent with the top 100, right?
Yes, except for like 2-3 weeks ago when I got COVID and I got knocked out of the top 100. But yeah. Only
other than that, I mean, I think you had
down.
something like 20, 30, maybe 40 tours in a row.
Yeah, that's the thing that keeps me going with this game is the grind for ACR. That's my main thing. Like ranked, I try to stay like casual. Like I try to stay competitive, but I don't necessarily like go 110% every week. I try to like go for ACR across the board. That's the thing that keeps me going.
Nice. And you're calling from Canada, I believe, right?
Yes. Quebec, Canada, yeah.
Oh, same as me.
Oh, where are you?
Ooh, all right.
I'm from close to Quebec, so very close to Quebec City, actually. So.
I got family in the area, so yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Very cool. I forgot to ask Clownington and PepperRabbit, where you guys stationed?
I am near Chicago, so I'm like, they call it Chicago land, so I'm like 40 minutes out, but yeah. Yep.
Nice. I was in your home state earlier this week. I was really impressed with Chicago proper. Very beautiful city.
Yeah, it is a really nice city. Me and Jeeves have like kind of a connection. We always bring up the fact that we're both Chicagoans. I don't know how to say it. Chicagoans. Yeah.
You're Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, except for Jeeves, Chicago's pretty nice.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
So I'll defend him a little bit.
Listen, he asked for a shout out, and there it is.
There it is. I'll tell you what, though, I will say he asked for me to just mention my experience in Chicago. I actually had a wonderful time there. The parks district owns like 20% of the city or something like that. And like they do a really good job keeping the parks nice in the city. We went to a White Sox game, had a Polish, which is like, and then like this, meat sandwich. Man, overall, I had just a blast. It was a lot of fun. PepperRabbit, where are you from?
I like Brian voices are from Baltimore.
Okay.
So yeah, rivals to you apparently for Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Yeah, there's definitely the AFC North rivalry there, but it's okay. There's a lot of respect for the Ravens and that they're a hard-nosed football team. You gotta love that. And yeah, we're actually launching our fantasy football league for the Discord. So we have 16 teams. A crazy
freaking insane 16 teams. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple late round drafts that we're not going to know who those players are, but that's going to be awesome. I'm sure Jeeves will draft a kicker in the first round, so we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, I don't want to talk about anything else until we get to this shop and these pipes and everything that's been absolutely mind dropped on us today in the news. But before we do, we'll start with an icebreaker. So one of the things that we heard today is that you will no longer be able to, once this update hits towards the end of the month, October, whatever it is, that you will no longer be able to use rubies to pull pipes. And so I thought that for an icebreaker, let's think back with these pipes going away forever, potentially. What was your favorite pipe pulling experience of all time? Draco, we'll start with you, man.
Sure. For me, I think would be Waluigi versus Wario Rally Tour. There's one where I wanted Peach Vacation and just wanted to pull for Peach Vacation. So I was like, my maximum was 4 10 pulls. And then I did my first one, got Peach Vacation, was super happy, very proud. And then I did like back to back to back, and I got like 4 or 5 times, and just this high-end drivers. There was just Peach Vacation. I was like, wow, that's insane. I tried it again the next day. It was just kidding. I was like, okay, my luck is run out. But but I mean, I wanted my drivers, and I just pulled for the specific drivers I wanted to, like this randomness orangey without no spotlight, and I just loving. So that was my most favorite pipe pulling.
I love it. Love it. Frenzy Grind, what would be for you, man?
Man, I got a couple. I'm gonna go with, so when the Jungle Tour came out in May of 2020, I think it was, when Funky Kong came out, and there was this whole craze for Funky Kong. It actually dropped on my daughter's birthday, and she was like, "Dad, I really want Funky Kong." And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I got 45 rubies. What the heck am I going to be able to do with that? You're like, "Dad, please." I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a shot, see what happens. 45 rubies, first 10 pull, Funky Kong. I mean, on her birthday, I was like, we're going back to memories. It's like, that sticks out to me. Was looking back today, is it the best driver? No. But the craze for him back then was just off the charts, and she wanted it. So, you make your daughter happy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my experience with her. But to go back to recently, and going to you with the triple resets, and you're welcome, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Sunday Tour.
That's 3 thank yous, by the way.
Sunday Tour, I don't know how the heck this happened. So I pulled Mario, first 10 pull, reset, triple reset, first 10 pull, triple reset again, first 10 pull, triple reset, fourth 10 pull. I pulled this guy 4 times in 7 10 pulls.
Wow.
I don't know what the heck was going on. And I told you something. I'm not a superstitious guy either. I don't know. I go with what works until it stops working.
You figured out the RNG mechanics. This is what it is.
And I'm not even done. So I'm at a Met game last Saturday, and we're tailgating, and I'm like, I want the red off-roader, but so I did a YOLO at Citi Field, red off-roader, first 10, triple reset.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I'm not done. Gold Chuck Sunday drops. First 10 pull, triple reset. First item out of the first 10 pull, Gold Chuck.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I mean, you can't make this luck up.
Oh,
Crazy. And maybe that's a good time for me to probably Probably express my favorite story because it piggybacks right off of that. You know, I've been pulling pipes. I've been beating the pipe for years now. It's honestly my favorite part of the game is pulling on these pipes and trying to get as many high ends and trying to get as much out of it as I possibly can. I've beaten the pipe now hundreds of times, but I will say, you know, putting myself kind of through this savings gauntlet experiment. It made every ruby just that much more precious. So going in with, I think it was like 300 and something rubies and on Sunday and reset 3 times. And I got 4. You can go and watch the video. Came out on Sunday. Again, you have to take probably about 45 minutes to get into that area of the video. But yeah, reset 3 times. I got a quad in that first 10 pull. And then I think it was, then I reset 3 times again and then got Chuck in the second 10 pull. So thank you for the little strat. I'm not superstitious. I don't know what it is. Keep trying it, guys, until these pipes go away. But that was probably one of my favorite experiences. There's only one other experience that I really, really, looking back at all the beep the pipe videos. There was one video where I think I put, I think it was something like 500 rubies against 500 rubies, kind of this beat the pipe strategy where you reset when you're beating the pipe and just doing singles. Because there was a really hot topic at the time where singles were, you know, you guys should do singles, you're going to get way more. And I was like, well, you know, guys, if you're doing a 10 pull, you're getting that extra free one, and then you could get a double, you could be getting a triple. You don't know because you're stopping yourself before you get it. And I did it, and it was substantial. Just like I think a four high end difference between the two. So that was kind of looking back at my highlight reel of beating the pipes. That was one that stuck out to me as just proving as best I could using, you know, as, you know, a medium sized sample size, just that, you know, going a 10 pull, resetting when you're beating the pipe is going to you're going to get more high ends in general. Again, each high end is worth something different to you, but in general, worth more than going into singles. So there's my story. Clownington, what's your most memorable pipe pulling experience?
Well, recency bias, I got 45 rubies on the token shop pipe. So then I immediately went to go pull the gold pipe. And I got the gold bill blaster. I think that's what's called, gold bill blaster. And then with the ranked rubies, then I got gold charge Chuck on the next one. So I was like, wow.
Nice.
But I know.
Wow.
Nice.
But then for Dr. Peach, I probably spent, so I pulled for all the spotlights once, but then I probably spent around 700 rubies just like doing tenors just for her and then resetting. And I probably got her 9 times in 700 rubies. I think the furthest I went in was 4 10 pulls, and that was just one time. So she just got to level 6 and of course it's not a plus skill driver, but Peach is my favorite. So I was like, that was really lucky, like really, really lucky. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ever said.
PepperRabbit, your favorite pipe pulling experience?
So I said something about the white Yoshi pipe when it was debuting, but I actually have another one.
Okay.
Back in the Metropolitan Tour, I went for my top 100. Probably the worst special pipe this year was that white Fast Frank pipe.
Yep.
And that to me was my most memorable because I actually pulled for it 3 times so I could get it to level 6 and double capped to help my top 100 run. And that was pretty cool how it's just all cities on the whole card, and it was just able to be that much of a powerhouse to get me the top 100 for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's been in the ranked ever since I got it, and this tour actually triple capped it at level 6. So
wow.
Next is level 7. So we'll see what happens if it's going to continue to be in ranked.
Yeah, there are things like that that's unless you have it at level 7, you're not knowing that it's in ranked all the time. Like if you would have said how many times it's been ranked, I'd be like, 3 or 4 times, but sounds like it's been pretty consistent every single tour. So hey, that's one thing about the game is that if you don't have something, you don't really know its true value. So yeah, that makes total sense.
Exactly.
Cathangel, I don't think we've heard yours yet.
Yeah. I don't remember which store specifically that special pipe, my favorite special pipe was in. It's the one where it had Gold King Bob-omb and Ninja Shy Guy. Like
Ninja
it,
Tour.
it, it
Samurai
had
Tour.
both in the same special pipe.
Here?
Oh,
Ninja
oh,
Tour,
that
yeah.
one.
Was fairly recent after the level 8 update.
The Samurai
Samurai?
Tour. Yeah,
Is it back? Is it the Samurai Tour? I believe
think
it
so.
was.
Or the Mario
Yeah.
Kart
Ninja
Tour.
anyway.
Yeah, I love this special pipe because I was able to pull both of them often enough that I was able to make them both level 8, no problem. Like I remember having so much fun pulling that pipe because I felt like I wasn't pulling anything useless. Yeah.
Now, unless you got King Bob, the regular King Bob, that was
No,
the
the gold one.
Okay. Yeah, did you do a lot with the Sakura hop rod that was in that pipe?
Yeah, well, the Sakura hot rod was good for me just short term only. It petered out in my inventory after that, but I'm still using Gold King Babam and Ninja Shy Guy on a lot of tracks right now. So it was a good investment for me.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
Draco.
a tough tour, by the way, for rubies. Our first boomerang driver, Ninja, and then King Baba and the special
This
pipe.
is Samurai Tour this year.
I mean,
Samurai Tour this year. Yeah.
You're thinking maybe Giant Banana?
Yeah.
Coming from the pink one?
I thought we were talking about the Ninja Tour. She said Gold
No,
King Baba.
Samurai Tour this
Yeah,
year.
but there was
Yeah.
a special pipe like this year where like Gold King Babam and
Oh, so
Ninja
you're
Shy
talking
Guy
about when
were
he came back a
both.
second time. Oh, okay, my fault.
I
Yeah.
think the spotlight was the pink Shy Guy.
Pinja,
Pink
yeah.
Shy- Pinja,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in that. It was in that one. Yeah. That's another driver that's useful in my inventory right now.
Yeah, Draco, what about you, man?
I mean, I already go for it, but I have another story which I wanted maybe to share is PD Piranha. So normally I never pull for any of PD Piranha, but this time around I lose a bet and I decide to do it. And then I got Mercury the Lightning McQueen, and after I got literally like what's called PD, which I never use, but I mean, like I love my McQueen and I drive at level 6 double cap instantly, and I was like, that's destiny. So yeah,
A really good card. Yeah.
really good guy.
Yeah, it's you know what's funny is that the ranked track for Bowser's Castle 3T, it's in ranked this week. I'm using Silver King, but it's actually pipe boosted, which is going away. So I was using it later for all cup rank. I'm like, where's the Silver King? And I'm like, it's like I think I have like cards at level 3, and then all the way on the right, Lightning McQueen, just sitting there. I don't have it. So kudos to you. You'll be better prepared for that that track going forward. So as I was alluding to, pipe boosts are going away, in addition to a lot of things in the news. So as you know, for my content, I don't do reaction videos to the preview and to some of these things because I love talking about it with you guys. I like engaging in the conversation, and that's my reaction. So we had a lot to take away from this morning. There's a couple news bits that I'll just kind of touch on just briefly. One being battle mode, which we really didn't care about compared to everything that's talked about with the pipes, the things talking about with the shop. We have a lot going on, but we'll start with Crazy's comment about the shop and no more pipes. Is removing the gacha a sign that this game is on its lost leg, or are they trying to better their game in a last-ditch effort to draw in new players, or is it neither? Simply just an update, part of Mario Kart Tour's progression. What's going on with getting rid of the rubies for pipes?
Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I absolutely don't think it's a sign that the game is on its last legs. I think it is a sign that Nintendo wants the game to survive, because we've been seeing in the news a couple of countries have prohibited online games with gacha mechanics, and I think it's Nintendo being ahead of the curve and trying maybe to get back some of its market share that it lost due to all those laws against gacha games.
Yeah.
Yep, I absolutely agree. I also think gachas are pretty predatory in like their business model. I mean, like you pull the pipe, you don't get what you want, you're out of rubies, and it's like, oh, it's still in there, so you don't have to, but most people are like, oh, I can buy ruby, I can buy rubies and get it, and then they spend more money than they want to. So that's how it's predatory. So I think it's overall a good change to the game, like overall.
I completely agree. I hope people come back to it that have been like banned from using the application. I hope hopefully it becomes unbanned in those countries. But I hope that the people that have not played it for a while come back, and also people that wrote Mario Kart Tour off because it was a gacha game actually come and try it again. Hopefully it will bring in more revenue and keep the game going.
Yeah, I totally agree as well. And I wonder if other like game like Fire Emblem and maybe Pokemon Master would follow this route too. I'm very curious to see that. But I mean, I totally agree. I think it's going to be a good change. I'm kind of scared about other situations maybe we're going to talk about later. But overall, I think we need to give a shot at this and see how it goes. And hopefully it will just be good at the end. But I would miss those pipe pulling for sure. But
yeah, that's a
I mean, there's a lot of impacts on how it's going to, I guess, in the community move forward. You know, think about like no more pipe pulling videos, no more beat the pipe, no more. And you know, you can typically on a Sunday morning with the special pipe watch 3 or 4 videos of people pulling on it and have an educated guess of how you're going to approach the pipe. You know, blah blah blah. Asks a similar question: is Nintendo making this change to try to beat the legislative pipe? In other words, is this change coming because Nintendo is trying to future-proof themselves against this gambling, these gacha bans? Or is there another reason you think that they can make this change? And I think this is, in my opinion, the #1 reason is that they're really just trying to make sure that that they can get back ground into the countries that have banned it, but more importantly, take it to new countries, you know, countries that it was never in before. And they're saying, hey, we might lose some base that really like the pipe pulls, but, you know, in order for us to move into these countries, in order for us to be future proof, and I think I like that word that Bob uses there, to be able to make sure that they're here forever. So I don't see this as like a Hail Mary or some kind of like, you know, safety card, but this is like a very strategic playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers type of thought process. But that's reason #1. You know, I think that there's a lot of other impacts that go into this game. Snuff will ask a lot of great questions. How many times do you think we'll be able to level up items in this new spotlight shot? So I think like we're right now we're making a lot of assumptions, right? So we're now just assuming, like, do we work off of this Mii situation where we have like 100 rubies here, 100 rubies there, maybe a 70 ruby, maybe there is like this discount. Will it be limited to 3? Will it be unlimited, allowing whales to buy as many as they want? What do you think these spotlight pipes, I don't even know if you can even call them spotlights, they're just, I guess, the ability to buy things. How do you think this will impact how we treat rubies? We'll start there.
I can go first, I think. I think like I did heard a little bit today of all the opinion. I have found a really good interesting idea is, I wonder if maybe like, you know, like when you can buy an iron with 100 rupee to make it less intriguing than just like having like a Mii, like when you buy a Mii. Let's say like if you buy a high-end and you already know which high-end, let's say Funky Kong, and then you spend 100 there and you can have 9 extras items, maybe like common, supers, just for fun. And then it's almost like a pipe, but you already know at 100% you're gonna guarantee the Funky Kong, but at least you get maybe some other coins with it and things like that. I just hope they will just get a bit more creative with the way you buy iron rather than just straight like a Mii ones. But I mean, I thought that was a great idea, and I just wanted to share with everybody here. But hopefully they're going to do something creative, because otherwise it would be a little bit boring. But at least what I'm happy is where you have new items, it look good into your coverage, just buy it. You don't need to go like I did many times. All my mushroom legacy, always bottom pipe, all the item I wanted 450 rupees every time, and I was already tired of those. But now secure, like if we say like 100 rupee is the minimum where you need to spend to get the items, I'm fine with it, and we can buy it if it's in a minute or just 3 times. That's okay with me. But yeah, I'm really curious to see the others' idea.
I think you bring up a good point. There's it's great when people are looking for specific spotlight items like that are like highlighted for a specific tour. A con of this though is like usually people tend to level up their normals and supers with pipe bowls. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna create an entirely new problem, especially for newbies in the game. How are they gonna level up their stuff if like we don't have those pipe bowls to do that anymore? So the hybrid model you suggested, like you buy a specific highlight item and then you get a random supers and normals with it would be cool. That would be a cool hybrid model if they go that way.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from people watching this live on a Saturday morning or whenever they're watching it. If you know of a game that's moved from the gacha world into this type of world and made this transition, what was that transition like? And because that's where I haven't really heard a lot of, is I think a lot of us, this is like the only game that we play. But I'd love to hear kind of like what that looked like, because I think this has probably happened to many games, because it is predatory if you think about pulling on these pipes. And I think ultimately, I think the reason we're so attracted to pipe pulling, why we love pipe pulling, is because it is basically gambling. Like it's a gotcha. It's a gotcha for a reason. It is it's the same reason that so many other countries have made other types of gambling illegal, because it is addictive. It is, Clownington, you made a great point. It's like, hey, I pulled, I'm out of rubies. What do? I buy rubies. And like I started a free account with my Gold Pass only account for my son. I said, hey, do you want this ice cream head or do you want to pull on this pipe? And he's like, I want to pull a pipe. Like you just have to have like a heartbeat, and you know that you want to pull on pipes. It is like literally like it draws everything about us as humans. So yeah, I get it. It is predatory. So I think that's maybe it'll clean up some image, but more importantly, maybe move into these countries. But I think blah 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 brings up a good point. Do you think this pipe change will cause whales to spend less and casual players to increase their spending? Or do you think how will this impact how we spend the game based on all the different other assumptions we've made?
I think it depends on the number of times you can buy the specific highlighted items with rubies. If it's 3 times like the Miis, it might discourage some of the most hardcore whales from investing too much in it, because at the end of the day, if you're limited to like being able to buy them 3 times, and I don't know, you need to pull more like you would with a pipe. I think it could discourage some of the whales, but not all of them. It's a wait and see. It's gonna be a wait and see situation, really.
Yeah.
I think there's just way too many questions out there we don't have answers to. So,
yeah.
Especially for the whales, we don't know how we're going to approach it, because we don't know what they're charging. I expect drivers are going to cost more than Karts and Gliders. Can we buy unlimited? Can we buy only 3 like the Mii Suit shops? So I just think there's too many questions. I mean, we can't really put a game plan in place because we don't know.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw like Carlos today on stream, and he was like, it's almost like a buff to the whales into ICEBREAKER, because he was calculating the numbers. Like if you go for the like me, like I need to spend 450 to just get 1 items. Imagine this if you want to bring it at level 8, and it costs like way more ruby than probably like, let's say like 20k to just make it level 8 if you just keep pulling and you have always bad luck. But into Eastern, if you take the base is 100 ruby 1 IM, if you do it for 23 times when it's going to be level 8, well, you spend less ruby into that way than if you're going for pipe pulling. So in a way, that could be like a buff experience for new player or even the whales. I think that may be like the way to save more ruby now, but we just need to be more cautious of what you want to spend on and what you want less spend on. Like Pitch Winter Time, I will buy it like 3 times if I can to.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
This is going to
But-
benefit people who are on the fence, who are trying to stop buying packs, but maybe they're on the fence. And, you know, now there's a whole change to the game. So now this gives them a reason to stop spending.
Yeah.
So, gotcha, it's gambling. It's hard. Some people, there's going to be many people out there, it's hard to stop. They love the game. They love getting new drivers, karts, gliders. This is going to put you in a spot where there's no more pulling. So you can maybe get limited resources to, depending on the prices, again, on how much it's going to take you to get this new driver, this new kart, this new glider. And it may not take you 450 rubies. You know, so again, we're going back to how much is everything going to cost, right? So
That's another thing we have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is another reason why I decided to make my own concept of the base, because I knew it when I buy like Cat Toad or Luigi Classic, it was probably like a bad move. I was like, oh wow, if I keep buying those bundles, I would be in trouble later on. And I was like, okay, if I just restrain myself to just 3 drivers, well, maybe I will have less spending aspect.
that's the thing. Now you're going to know, once this starts, you're going to know how many rubies you're going to need to get the driver you really want.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you're going to go into a gacha pipe and you can go 450 deep or you can go 45 deep. You
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah.
Now you know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
yeah,
It's going to cost
Exactly.
me 100 rubies to get this new driver, 200 rubies, whatever it is. You know, you can plan ahead.
mm-hmm.
I at the same point in time, I don't know if I fully buy the point that you brought up, Draco, that for mention from Carlos. I mean, if you think about pulling something 23 times, that's 100 rubies times 23. You're talking about 2,300 rubies. Like, I don't think any whale is dropping that on a pipe on it. Any normal tour.
No.
Whereas
My daughter's going to college.
no, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. Whales have like this, unlimited resource, but I mean, no one's really doing that.
No.
I just don't see them doing that. I mean, they might pull it to maybe buy it 3 or 4 times and then throw tickets on it or something like that. But I mean, that's not practical. No one's going to even do that, even in the most whaleistic situation. So, and honestly, I mean, you could probably, do a couple 10 pulls and get it 23 times quicker from getting, I don't know, because to try to put some type of logic on that, because we don't know what's going to come from a pipe. And I think that was the glory of it. And it's also the demise too, is we just don't know what we were going to get with but I mean, I'll be honest with you, I went in the same special pipe that you did, Cathangel, and I walked away with Pinja at level 8. And I was absolutely loving it. I got him and King Bob, back to back and doubles and triples, and I was absolutely crushing it. That's going to all go away. So I don't know if I fully believe that logic, but certainly that was again one of the glories of the pipe, and one of the things that we'll have to do at RIP a little we'll have to look back at some of these pipe pulling videos and remember the times.
For sure, yeah.
Can I say something real quick for like casual players? I mean, if it's just like a cart, they don't want the driver and they only want the cart or the glider, I feel like it's a really good change, because imagine going 450 rubies for a cart that you don't even know that's going to be good, because you have to wait several tours for it to get buffed or not buffed. So I think for that, like even for whales or for like us who are pretty hardcore, like I think that's a good change overall.
Yeah. I think
especially
Hey, you don't
carts.
care about the driver. Yeah, you only care about one. You only care about one item. You don't want the driver. You don't. Yeah. So
True.
Especially carts.
yes, because there's so many.
I mean, like, just for to agree with Clownington here, like I will, like, if you put like Peach Explorer into like the spotlight, I will buy it 3 times if necessary. I will buy any of my driver like 3 times, rather than going to one full pipe, getting maybe like a new card and spend 450. If it's cost 100, I'm just saving and I have 3 upgrade. So as mid players, it's a good way to just getting more those level closer. And I would do it every tour if it can possible, because I'm already want to spend that much ruby at the base. So if it's unlimited, that would just more power into my account, which I think is a good thing. Maybe it's good or not good for well, we'll have to see, but depend on the price. If the price is to 100 per high end, it's really too pricey for doing that. But if it's like a little bit like cheaper, maybe like the first item you see it's 70 rubies and then after that it's 100, well, at least you're getting good out of it. And yeah, what we have to see.
I will say there were times where I was going for top 10. I'm like, you know what? I just need this thing one more time. I can't get a level ticket. I was hoping for my shop this week. My shop's dead.
Mhm.
Like, there's got to be one way there's got to be a way I can get this. And I'm like, what if I, get more rubies and then pull, and then there are legitimate times where, it could actually help Nintendo earn more revenue that way by just giving somebody an ability to do that. But I think the majority of the players are going to be happy to just get something once and then throw tickets on. I didn't go into the week one
Yeah.
pipe because I was for this red off-roader. That's the only item I wanted. And I was like, as much as I want to do that, I'm trying to restrict myself, trying to practice some of this restraint. But yeah, I mean, if that item, if it was just available by itself, would have gone for it all the way. I think what's interesting is that they did also pair this with this gold chuck this week, who was not a spotlight, almost making us manipulating us to think, yeah, this is a great change. Because look, we could have got charging Chuck instead of I think it was Ouch 000 who spent 1,000 rubies and didn't get them. In this situation,
Wow.
Couch is probably really, really excited about this change.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of time I like, even today, I was like, if I had this red off-roaders in the shop right now, I could spend in a few tickets because I have 0 card. That would be the great opportunity for me to do it because I spend everything into the CACP card. But I mean, there's a lot of scenario where I really want to get those high-end and I don't have enough tickets to do it. So I think that's a great chance to doing. Just buy a pack, maybe just get a level up, but would totally worth it.
Yeah, Stupendous asks, sounds like every pre-planned question for Kart Talk went out the window with this update. I'm having a tough time figuring out where the game goes from here. Removing the gambling element from the game is huge for me. What actually separates this game from all other racing games out there? What's the draw? I have a Switch and use and play Mario Kart Tour 8 on there, but if I've racked up 10 hours of total playing it, that's a lot. I may actually just play that now and maybe walk away from Mario Kart Tour. I think removing the pipes and gambling and just making it strictly buy what you want, it's going to have the feel of a totally different game. They should have made a different game and left this tour alone. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is he striking the chord there? Do you think this is going to be for the best?
Maybe not for the track selection. I think I may be wrong about this, but Mario Kart Tour has the best overall track inventory. And even though we don't see them we don't see every track every week, we have a good and yeah, we can spend a few hours talking about track rotation there, but there are some tracks that are not on Switch that I would like to see, and just for that reason alone, I would like to play on. So I know that would be the track selection alone would keep me would make me keep playing Mario Kart Tour.
Do you think the buy what you want? Does you think that that dilutes the value of the game or the excitement? Because pulling pipes is a big part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I will say this. I love watching pipe pulls. For the first few months I was playing this game, but after a while, if these are not your own pipe pulls, it kind of lost. Pipe pull videos kind of lost their appeal on me. But it depends on what your main reason is, to keep playing the game. So I'm a competitive person, so I'm going for the all cup ranking. So I don't if charging Chuck is gonna get me there, I'm gonna go get what it takes to get me there. But inventory at the end of the day, it's gonna be what it is, and pulling pipes is just a means to an end. At least for me, it's not the main draw, but I understand that I may not be among the majority of people.
So for me, what separates this from other racing games, not every racing games has points, and it's different in other racing games. As they try to find the shortest way to get to first place, and they do shortcuts and whatnot to get, and then they change their speed and brake. But this game is all about keeping combo and getting the highest score possible, and that's
Yes.
a really big separation from other games. And the fact that we have a competition for top 1,000 every tour in the whole community, whole world, is pretty kind of unique in that situation as well.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that. No, I mean, I think this is a very unique game. The fact that they travel, it changes every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think that part is a huge part of this game, and I think there's a lot of value there. I do think though, like the endorphins and like the all the energy that we feel from pulling pipes is exciting. I know I was talking with Jeeves, and he's not taking this change well, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think this change is going to like it's going to be a huge. I mean, this game is going to not look like the way it does today. Like we'll look back and we'll be like shocked to even remember the game the way it is right now. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're still running tracks. You nailed it on the head there, Farson. We're still trying to get as many points as possible, trying to get as many combos, and that will never go away. I mean, there's so many. Just like when you open up and for the race for the first day, and you're just, for the first time that day, and you're just like, yes, like let's go. This is like, how much time do I have here? Because I'm excited to race this. Like that won't go away, and I think that power is higher than the power of pulling up pipes.
And I don't want to start a new topic right away, but we're adding battle mode, so we're attracting people who wanted that in the game for a long time. So yeah, lots of different reasons other than pipe pulls that people keep playing this game.
Yeah, we'll get to part.
Yeah, I don't want to start that right away.
That's an awesome conversation. I'm looking forward to discussing, but I also think it is important to talk about now. One, because I think that the fact that it's happening in the same announcement is important for a couple of different reasons. One, hearing that news does help us process this other news. But then two, you're right, is that people, as they're coming back to their game, they're not also coming back and saying, it's a gacha. I wanted battle mode without gacha, So like when they are coming back, when these traditional players are coming back, they're coming into a traditional setting, which is positive for them. But then also, I do think that resources will look a little different, like rewards. Maybe there's a ranked setting that comes from battle mode, or some other way that we're getting coins, rubies, because we haven't talked about that. That's another question from Firestorm that I'll ask right now. With pipe pulling coming to an end, what are your predictions on new ways to get coins? And I've kind of brought up this, we don't know what this battle mode is going to come, but I expect us to get something from it. They talked about single player and multiplayer. So maybe there's a single player ranked or some other way that they give us coins, or maybe that's the only way we get coins. I don't see coins going away because there's coins. Coins are a big part of Mario in general, just flat out Mario. But then also Mario Kart Tour, like it's a big part of the game.
They're part of the track too to keep combo.
Doesn't
make any sense.
We need to buy ions.
Yeah.
Does this make coins like the most important resource now?
No.
And they didn't say that the existing shops were going away as they are, so we'll still need coins. And the coin revenue, like the coins we can get, it's probably gonna change. Like our rank rewards in coins are probably gonna change. Battle mode, we still don't know how much we're gonna get from that. And I don't know, maybe more from the today's challenge pipe, and all the tier shop pipe. No, not the tier shop pipe. Sorry, the token pipe, the token shop pipe. Yeah.
And they said also they have like other major news into the future as well. So it's going to be a little change right here, but I'm pretty sure we have a lot more in maybe new ways to gain, maybe coin the futures or new introduction. They of course they don't increase the amount of it, because right now we are losing the majors of coins we gain, and maybe a little detail will help out into maybe increasing the dailies per days. Maybe like would be 1.2 per day. I don't know, but there's many ways to maybe get new coins in the
like, you
futures,
hand out 2 coins to your friends instead of 1 or something.
or maybe 10 a days. I don't know. Maybe
Instead of 5.
Yeah, that might
There's-
change
there's-
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
little
the
change
coins
like
you
that would
send to
change.
friends. Yeah.
I'm thinking what they'll probably do, especially with battle mode, is as Car Pro, you can get rubies. I think you're gonna see an extensive coin drop for people who play battle mode and win, like
Yeah.
with Car
Yeah.
Pro. So we get rubies for Car Pro. Battle mode, you're gonna see an extensive amount of coins for winning that. They're gonna find different ways to give you coins in different directions.
Yeah.
That might be one.
I agree.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the one thing, my concern is that I just don't want to see my high-end tickets go away. Like for me, you know, the reason I was so focused on clearing out my daily selects, so I'd have tickets, and now like as part of my saving strategy, you know, I have 10 plus driver tickets and cart and glider tickets, and like for me, I was actually looking forward to saving up a nice stash so that I could go for a top 10 on a Waluigi tour or something like that. But like now I'm like concerned, like, am I going to be able to have enough coins to buy high end in my shop, or like what's my shop going? Are my shop's going to be ruby exchanges? Like,
Yeah. What I'm hoping they don't do is that, for example, I got to spend 10 rubies to buy a Luigi who is already maxed at level 8 for me to get 1,500 coins back. So I'm hoping I don't have to spend
coins back
rubies
for what?
to get coins back.
You're talking about like in like a token pool or something?
No, like in your daily selects. So if we need coins to buy daily select tickets, the only way we could do that, because now we can't pull for coins. So you go in your daily selects, and now we got to spend rubies to get coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah.
counterproductive.
That brings up the issue of the coin rush. Yeah, are they gonna change the rates too?
Well, they don't give us coin rush and daily selects or quick tickets and daily selects. So how are we supposed to get extensive number of those to even do this thing?
Yeah.
That's true. And also,
I do believe that the fact that they've given us this quick ticket capability now, where you can change it out for the shop, I feel like the day that they realized that they were going to move to this gacha-less system was around the same time that they started releasing Miis, because they introduced this brand new like ruby in exchange for thing and try to kind of, I don't know, get us used to the feel of it. And so like, why would they release the quick ticket feature where you can now use it to change your daily selects? So my personal opinion is I don't think they're going to change the daily selects. I think they're going to keep that piece at least intact.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be really hard. I don't know how we're going to get coins unless they find some other way to give us coins. But Raker 85 gives us some really good feedback on coins in exchange for rubies. So it's not a question, but I feel like a high-end driver may be sold for around 75 rubies. When you spend 75 rubies through the coin rush, you get approximately about 12,000 coins. Exactly the price of a high-end driver ticket. Karts and Gliders, then you could get for 60 rubies. A full set comes out to 195 rubies. High ends from the regular pool should be slightly cheaper, say 60 or 50 respectively. And then you get 6 high ends for 335, which is less than a 450 pool. But this should in fact be the case, as sometimes you get all high ends before you empty the pipe. Of course, they can throw all kinds of exotic options in the mix, like get a discount for a bundle, etc., or a pair of new high end with an old regular pool of high ends. Get a discount on the first purchase or discount for Gold Plus, but there's a lot of options that they can do. So, I think it brings up a good point. Maybe 75 rubies, maybe this 70 rubies is actually a pretty good exchange if you were to do the coin rush for this 12,000 coin amount. So I don't know. I think in general, if you look at 70 rubies or 100 rubies, I think 100 is being overpriced, but 70 rubies might be the fair price for a new high end.
See, here's where my worry is. You guys remember when level 7 and especially level 8 came out, we all sat around debating how many tickets is it going to take me to bring my driver to level 7? How many tickets is it going to take to bring my driver to level 8? How many people on this call right now would have said it would take you 8 tickets to bring your driver to level 8? Probably no one. So whatever number you think it's going to take you for this specific situation, probably times it times 2 in Nintendo's eyes.
Yeah.
You're
And
gonna go on the high side because you can't expect they're gonna give you a discount.
Yeah,
You're thinking 70 rubies for a driver. I'm going double that because I'm not gonna be disappointed again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I appreciate how optimistic that person was, but
Yeah.
I think it's way too low, especially for the drivers. Yeah.
And what I'm fearing is, I mean, we have level 8 right now, but I mean, next year, if they don't fix any of the coin issue, we can still have level 9. And what are you going to do? Like, the coin is already an issue right now. And then you bring level 9. And if you need to spend 60 for common or supers, what are you going to do? Like, those luxury shop where you used to buy your tickets, you maybe never get there, or they have to find a ways at some point to bring back those coins, because that would be the real issue if that happened. I don't want to curse it, but maybe that can happen in the near future, maybe next year, the year after, but that's still a possibility that can come to the game.
Well, yeah, I think we've learned, don't let Nintendo think they're giving you a discount. The numbers are going to be high. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take back what I just said. I think that Nintendo made a solid change. Like, this is our plan going forward with the gacha, retraction earlier this year. But I think this was on their radar for the last few years. If you think about like the introduction of the today's pipe and the all clear pipe, like I knew, like they had to have known back then that eventually, like, they're gonna have to stop using rubies to be able to pull on pipes. But they also realized that this is a fun part of the game. So like they like that we like token, pulling on this pipe. So like, what if we gave them other ways to pull on pipes, like tokens, all today's challenge, all clear. So like I do think that that part was planned a long time ago, that they knew that the gacha thing was something that was going around, legal issues across countries. So I think at that point in time, they're like, let's keep pulling pipes, but let's not do it for exchange for rubies. So I do think though, like it doesn't look like the today's challenge or the all clear pipe that won't be going away, because you're not actually trading rubies for it. But I do think, like, looking back, that was probably really smart for them, because if we didn't have a way to pull, like we can still get a little bit of that endorphin rush, but it's unfortunately gonna be at their timing. And we're gonna have to grind our fingers off to be able to get those tokens. So that part was smart. We'll see. We'll see if that continues.
I mean, if they knew it.
Guys, there's still a lot that we can probably pull away from this. There's no more pipes in the shop, but man, it's kind of scary. I feel like we still have to figure out. We still have to wait and see what will come from this, because guys, this is a big change in the game. But I like what you said, PepperRabbit. Like, this is like at the end of the game. At the end of the day, the game's still the game. The racing is still the racing, still the points. The combos are still the combos. And I hope that gives people encouragement as to go forward. Love to now transition to battle mode, because how many really enjoyed the battle mode growing up in the past versions? What did you enjoy so much about battle mode? What was the nostalgia aspect of it?
I remember playing battle mode, I think in N64. I enjoyed it a little bit, but you have to have your friends over to kind of play that.
For sure.
The double dash, I remember doing that. I don't know if it was actually battle mode, but the one with the bomb-ons, just like blowing up your opponents, that was pretty fun.
Oh, the blast one, yeah.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to it for tour. It's going to be a little bit weird mechanics, I think, with how driving is done, how is braking, and can you keep going? Can you stop? Can you, like, how do you strategize that? I just don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, I think for battle mode, this is my prediction. They're going to add a brake button somewhere on the screen, because like that's just a huge thing. You need to stop to like maybe like completely change trajectory or try to like line up your shot to hit someone. So there's no way there's no braking.
And now maybe Bob Cannon would be more terrifying now.
Yeah. The buff it needed.
Yeah, that's the question, guys, is does the meta change with battle mode? I know we're in speculation phase, but I mean, does Bob Cannon move from the worst skill to
I mean, I know hards would be pretty good, because you have double protection in a way to items. Pretty sure triple bombs or bomb cannon
Well, you
all
have to
those
remember-
items would be good.
You have to remember, we're hitting balloons. We're not actually hitting the player themselves. I
Yeah.
don't know.
True.
I don't know if these skills will even translate to battle mode. I don't
But
know.
Yeah,
bomb
that's-
have a massive AoE damage already, so if you hit them from afar, they cannot even see that coming, and would just blast them, and you can have 1 or 2 hits just like that.
But that's another legitimate question: is that it will special items like come into play at all into battle mode, or will all the drivers be given like the same items? Like I remember in the SNES version, we used green shells and red shells, and possibly stars, if I'm not mistaken. But there were no special items like unique to each driver. It was just good old-fashioned battle mode with the same items for everybody, and then winner takes all.
That's true. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, but they have a feather has been data mined, I think, into a long time ago. But I think maybe the feather will be in place in battle modes. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
You think you'll be able to like helicopter up and around?
I think it's just like a jump in the air. You can maybe like jump gaps or something. I don't know.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there might not be frenzies, or there might be frenzies. You know,
I hope not.
Track with
don't know.
Coinbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what'll happen, but I'm actually. So I remember with N64 going to my friend Josh's house, and we honestly, I don't even remember racing at all. We just would play the battle mode on like, I think it was like a mall. It was like a triple decker or some double decker.
Double decker, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember doing that for hours, just hours and hours and hours. In fact, when I would remember back about Mario Kart Tour, just the game itself, because I wasn't a big racing fan guy. I remember battle mode. I remember on that double decker, like that's my memory is the double decker battle mode, and we just loved it so much. We would just do it for hours. That and like GoldenEye, it's like those were like my childhood N64 memories. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's not that it's going to be a gimmick to me, but it'll still never beat the single player Mario Kart Tour, you know, mode and getting an all cup ranking. Like that's still going to be they're going to make me get this, you know, I don't know, battle mode kart pro thing, and I'm going to have to limp in just like, who wants to do this? Because I don't really want to do it, but I'll need the rubies or need the coins so bad. But yeah, I think it is nice that they're doing it just to be able to attract new players. Philish asks though, with the upcoming multiplayer update, is the battle mode hype still up? In Mario Kart 8, the original battle mode was not played on battle courses, but rather on default tracks. Is that a possibility to solve the no breaking issue? How else would they solve that issue? Or will they just add more ranks to multiplayer, possibly with more rewards? Suits are thrown out every tour, maybe one for reaching the highest rank. I mean, what do you guys think about all these different options Phil throws out there?
I hope they add battle maps, because I don't know if anyone here has played the original Mario Kart 8. Like the battle mode in that was absolutely atrocious. You were driving on the racetracks, the entire huge racetrack, and you had to like find people. That was the biggest part, even finding someone. So 8 Deluxe luckily fixed it, and they made like actual battle maps. But I think it's been data mined that things like Twilight House, which is a battle map from Mario Kart DS, and then like a few others I can't recall.
Cookie one from
Double
Dash,
yeah, Cookie Land, yeah. So I think those have been data mined. So hopefully those are in. My biggest fear is like a favorite driver for the battle map will give you more balloons than the other players, and I'm just like, so hopefully they don't do that. But you never know with Nintendo.
Like different shelves, and like the top shelf will have 4 balloons or something.
Yeah, or maybe you get 2 balloons for hitting someone over 1. I don't know.
I hope
That would
not.
be,
Will they get favored courses, and then
Yeah.
a whole new mechanic of the game.
my
Oh my goodness.
And then we have to be like, oh, it gets, you know, this number, like a sim tracks, this number of cities, this number of battle courses.
of course.
Oh, maybe that's why they removed the second favorite courses, I think, for drivers. Maybe they will do that and put battle mode in there, just like course coverage.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah, and these pipe boosts go away too. On top of that, yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about battle mode, but it's gonna be one of those wait and sees. I'll be honest, I'll probably get too hyped about it. But if it brings more people to the game, I'm all for it. Anything else anyone wants to bring about battle mode?
Not
If not,
really.
we're pacing pretty well on these questions. I thought I wasn't
Yeah.
sure how long
Yeah.
we could go on that topic. Raker85 asked about Luigi Raceway. Says it looks very much like Mario and Toad Circuit. Next to that, it's a rather boring, uneventful, and short track. I mean, I cannot stand Baby Park, guys. I hope I know we
The
should
bots
appreciate
are
all new
on
tracks.
Steroids on Baby Park.
What'd
Yeah.
you say?
The bots are on steroids. I
Oh,
don't know,
yeah.
like there was that first tour where they were not too bad. Like when Baby Park was introduced into Mario Kart, and it wasn't too bad. But when it came back, it's like they upped them on steroids, and I'm like, oh, I hate doing those tracks.
I don't mind them when I'm using Holidaisy, but yeah, all the other ones can go kick rocks. Anyone like Baby Park? Just get a raise of hands.
No.
I like
It's
T, I
cool.
The
guess.
T version.
T
yeah.
is cool.
That's about
T's
it.
cool.
Yeah, I like it
'Cause it's
outside
only
of Mario
3
Kart
laps.
Tour.
I mean, I like all of them. They're pretty
I mean,
alright.
I'm using Peach Wedding. What does that tell you?
I mean, of course, that's the best one, right? But I mean, into multiplayer, like
Yeah,
a lot
well,
of people have
you.
steering on, so they don't even do the
That's-
shortcut, and I
that's
gain
true.
always ground there. But I mean, I like it.
I like the satisfying speeding up of the music. If you have music on, it's actually pretty addicting, kind of in
Yeah.
a way.
I find
It
that
is.
stressful though when
Yeah,
you're at
it's
that
stressful.
last
Yeah.
lap and you're trying to just get to the finish line and you hope like that you don't get Mario Karted.
Yeah, it's like I think the fastness was only supposed to go up to 3x. 5x is a little rough.
Mhm.
As it gets faster every route. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But so Raker says, I know we should appreciate new tracks, but of all the new 2022 retro tracks, is the one you're looking forward to the least? Will this one? I think he says, is this the one you are looking forward to the least? Will the regular and reverse be hard to nonstop combo on the straight? So I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Luigi Raceway, but
Yeah.
if someone would like to interpret, let us know, what is this track like? Tell us a little bit about it.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of coins on the track to keep combo if you're front running.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to be coin box drivers on it. And it's going to be a really good coin box track because of how it banks, kind of like Waluigi Pinball in a way.
Yeah,
That's one of the better tracks for coin box. It's kind of like the same angle. But it is kind of just, I don't know, is it a figure eight? I don't really remember, but it's not really that eventful. It goes through a tunnel. I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like
Okay.
a baby parks, like very a baby park track, but you have like a curve in the middle to just make the tunnel ways. But I think they have shortened the track compared to the original one. The original one is like way more long
it's
distance.
long. Yeah,
Very long. And this one is very short. But I think there's
Okay.
going to be a lot of coins in there as we did saw. So I mean, it's gonna be fun. But I mean, don't get your hypes very high because of course this is like baby style-ish track. But overall, the track looks stunning. So I'm very looking forward actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you
I
don't
have
like Baby Park, so I can't trust your judgment. So
It's good.
I have no expectation whatsoever because I have never played Luigi Raceway, so I'm in the minority. I know.
Been a
it's
while.
Baby Park's like even littler cousin. I'm not gonna be too excited about it.
Uh-oh.
I don't think keeping combo is going to be hard because there's those huge turn sections. You can just keep mini turbo, then mini turbo, then mini turbo.
So,
And then
so what
on
makes
those-
this a good, what makes this a good coin box track? Because turns, like I don't like Waluigi Pinball as a good coin box
Well,
track in
I
general.
think there's a lot of dead space. I think that's
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so
it's wide.
on the
Yeah, it's a
straightaway,
wide, yeah.
on the straightaway, you can just go in a straight line. They'll just like go in front of you. And then, but the way the turns work on that course, like when you're turning, there's like a bank. So all the coins will just kind of like line up directly while you're mini turboing. Kind of like there's a spot in Bowser's Castle where it does that. I don't think it'll work because it should work like that too in Coconut Mall, but they like fall through the floor in that one.
Mhm.
Luigi Pinball does it where they like line up when you're turning.
Right.
So it just depends on how they make the track.
Yeah, those broken tracks are rough. All right, so we've talked as much as we possibly can about the speculation. We're just gonna have to wait and see. We'll see what comes from. I guess we have nearly a month, I guess, to wait for this.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be tough. But I'll tell you what, I think that just the general thought process is save your resources, save your tickets, save your coins, save as much as you can. Don't buy all the daily selects right now. We don't know what everything will look like, but I think that's probably a best practice. Would anyone disagree to that? Just as for the general people watching at home, I think it's a pretty safe assessment. All right, so we did get. I will say that we got a lot of questions about the new update when it came to the shops and specifically the no pipes. But I'll tell you what, every single Kart Talk, we get so many questions about Miis. We get so many questions about drivers in general and investments, and we've been bombarded with all these plus skills. Man, guys, it's been we've been having so many plus skills. It's been really hard to keep track of. This be Chris asks, a part of me is wondering, with all of the Miis and plus skill characters, if the thought process is in the community that they need to shift from a meta to more of an overlap. There's just too much for 95% of the players to invest into. Heck, I've got this Gold Egg Yoshi and the Silver Mii Suit at level 1. Several other plus drivers at level 4, level 5. I want to level up a plus coinboxer right now, but it's just too much. We've had too many top skills.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, like, how do we handle this? What is the meta anymore?
Well, the meta was always Basham Legacy all along, right? I play and invest in all my drivers. I mean, it's a great question. Of course, I can be not good insight into that because there's so many top skills over and over. But the part of the game of me is enjoying what you pull on and what you invest on. So if I go for Dr. Peach, I would use Dr. Peach, no matter what the skill would be. So I think you have to choose your fights and choose your specials items you like the most, and you just love them and just play with them. That's just how I see it, and I'm always going to be like that. But yeah, I mean, do what you. I mean, I any tips? Enjoy what you pulling, because this is the most important thing. But yeah,
I think just recently we had to deal with level 8, so we didn't really have the opportunity to get like high-end tickets in our shop. A lot of people didn't. So on top of that, with getting all these plus skill drivers, it's just kind of overwhelming in a way, and you have to figure out for yourself what you're gonna do about it. And having the Miis on top of it, it's, yeah, like Chris said, it's really difficult. And what are you supposed to do? So you're just gonna have to find the driver that you like, I guess,
Yeah.
that has a plus skill, and just ride them, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the overlap is already insane between all of them. My PD
Yeah.
Piranha is still level 1. The Rosalina Chef's
Yeah.
still level 1. I have Yoshi Kangaroo that's still level 1. But I still get top 1,000 pretty easily every tour now. So it's like, you don't need to have every
Right.
plus
No.
skill driver at a high level. I mean, I think they line it up to where like each one gets like one exclusive track. So you might be lacking short in like one track, but you definitely do not need to have every coin box driver at level 6, 7, 8. You don't need every boomerang driver at level 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Like they said, you just need to pick the ones you like and the ones that are best for your inventory and just go with it.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
exactly
say-
it. You just need to make sure you're looking at your spreadsheet and you know what your best drivers are for those
Mhm.
tracks.
Yeah.
You just close as many gaps as you can. That's the best we could do.
I think you
I
go
wish I
like,
invested into Samurai, because like he has like the worst overlap coverage of them all, but he probably could be like the
Not for
ring
free to play players though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what do you say, Cathangel?
yeah, no, I'm at a point now where I'm going from new track to new track and see like which driver has the best skill on it. And sometimes, and I try to see if there's overlap or how many unique courses they have. And I'm at a point where I made choices. Even I made choices like my PD Piranha is still at level 1.
Same.
Mario Samurai is
Mhm.
still at level 1 because there's so much overlap and not enough like unique courses to them. On the other hand, I don't want to be stuck with just Mii drivers, because now the whole thing with Mii drivers is that they have like, if you collect all the Miis, of course, that's a given, but they are now an advantage over like ordinary high-end drivers. So that's another layer to consider when you decide what to invest in. But you don't want to be stuck with just playing with just Miis. That would just make
Yeah.
the game boring. I don't know. It's tough to figure out these days. But yeah, I go from new track to new track from week to week, and eventually you get a clear picture of what you invest in. But you don't try to invest go straight to level 8 right away. No, I'm not that type.
Yeah, man, I think that there's you hit a lot of good points there. I think overall, yeah, I mean, your account is what you make of it. I know you mentioned earlier, Cathangel, you didn't put anything much into the secure hot rod, but I took that one to level 8, 700, mainly from pulling, but then also just putting tickets. And honestly, that's probably been my favorite card of the whole year. I know the tropical truck, like the tropical truck, like it's my favorite looking. But like when it comes to like ranked and usage for Yoshi Valleys and for Coconut Malls, like I don't know, the secure hot rod's been really, really hot for me. But like again, I think there's so many people that can say that. I mean, we get so many players who just it's so funny because I post all like my rundown slides on Reddit, and I tell you what, I get every people coming out of the woodwork being like, I'm so glad you pointed out, the Bumble V. That's been my favorite card forever, and like it's finally got a buff. And I'm like, all right, like if that's your takeaway, like that's fine, man. But like that's not like something you should really be getting. You should invest into this or invest in that. But like, hey guys, if you have your favorite card and it gets a buff and it's useful for you, I'm happy for you. I really am. But like there's so many ways so you can play this game. There's literally no wrong way. I think what I think is tough is that sometimes people will see the rundown like, but that one's been at 4 for the last 3 months, but like it's my number 1. I'm like, hey guys, this is just in a bubble, like looking at coverage, looking at overlap, looking at a lot of different things. In general, this one's a good one to invest in, slightly more than other great things you can invest in. But you guys nailed it. Just do what you love, man. Find the thing that you love and just invest in it. I think right now, this is like the best time to invest in what you love what you love, because everyone has every track. And it's Antlev actually, he looked into, this was, I think, data from about 2 tours ago, but he looked at every single track and said, is there like 3 drivers I can invest in to cover all the tracks? And there isn't. You need 6 drivers at a minimum to cover all the Zoom tracks that have come out this year. And his closest was, I think, like Volendam and like Charging Chuck. You could cover like 17 out of like 25 tracks or something like that. So it just shows you that Nintendo knows what they're doing. They're trying to, skitter and scatter all the different coverages around. But this because asked another follow-up question to this. I love the rundown, love the rankings. But what does it matter to me if someone shoots up in the top 10? If at level 7, double uncapped, they only give me 4 new tracks. I know this is the function of the trackers, but I'm curious if anyone else feels that with the abundance of plus skills, including the Miis, relative to the quantity of high-end tickets, if we need to start focusing more on overlap and types of overlap, like Giant Banana versus other tracks, and like, if the Giant Banana driver has a narrow track, or if a Lucky 7 driver has ways that he can maneuver to fall back into Lucky 7. I mean, guys, with this overlap, is there any way that we can handle this better as a community?
I mean, it's just all your inventory. You got to so you see the top 10, and I use the top 10 as a guideline for drivers, carts, and gliders. But like there have been times where something's number 2 or even number 1 that I haven't invested in. So like I'll check it and be like, oh, how many tracks does this give me? But I don't use that as like a definitive list for me anyway.
Yeah.
It helps, but yeah.
I think that's a little technical. I think you just need to check your sheet. Just like I mentioned earlier, close as many gaps as you can. I mean, there's a lot of tracks in this game, and it's impossible to close them all. Just look and see where you're short. Like me and Baby Park with Peach Wedding, that's a disaster. So I'm actually looking into the Block Mii Suit for that track after I close the block out. So it's just about closing gaps. That's it.
I mean, I use the rundown for, I mean, for me, for the rundown for drivers is completely not good for me because I have my own separate thing. But for Kart and Gliders, I use, as a you like 1 year in the game right now, I just use like what is like the hot items like golden wings, I have super edited mushrooms, all these great items where even stuff it's like Stereo Great said it's really good, buying it, and I did. And today this is one of my favorite gliders as well. So like I always choose the stuff which give me the most track as possible because this is what I'm gonna gain out of it. And it just unfortunately like all my, even like I am using 3 drivers, most of them have so many overlap between each others. This is insane. And I just need to use the best skills if I can. Oh, do I use coinboxer or do I use this? Or do I use hammers or do I use that? So even for me, like it's hard to have coverage, and right now I'm almost like thinking about Miis as being overpowered, and probably I already started the move of the Miis, but it's tough because if I upgrade too much the Miis, well, I'm gonna lose the passion of my other Dr. Peach and losing values of them, which I'm a little bit sad. But like what I'm gonna do now, like it's sad. So I choose my battles, but yeah.
The Miis, about the Miis, I think the 2 solid investments you can make is the Gold Mii if you're able to get it, of course. Not everybody can get it yet. And the question Block Mii, they're very useful investments. But for the rest of the plus skills like the Lucky 7 Miis, the Boomerang Miis, the Giant Banana Miis, that's up to you if you want to invest in them or not. Like yeah, that's like you don't want to like just play with Miis, but the Miis are not covering the entirety of the track selection yet. But no, it's the rest of it is a personal choice. But yeah, there are some choices that they impose themselves on your inventory. Like you see something that gives you a lot of coverage and will help you out in whatever you're trying to achieve, whether it's in the week's ranked or if you're going for a CR. It's gonna impose itself. But the rest, you have to treat your spreadsheets and the rundown as a general guideline, but you have to look for yourself where your own specific inventory gaps are. So that's something you have to do with week to week with the new tracks coming out.
Especially as an ACR player.
Yeah.
I think for so many years we could say, or even just so many months this year, if you think about it, like we could say, I like Tie Daisy more than I like Gold Egg or Yoshi, or you could kind of pick between some of these drivers, but the Miis have made it so difficult because now you're having to pick between these awesome looking alts and these terrible looking Miis that have value. Like I can already sense from hearing from you, Cathangel, like using Miis are not fun. Like using this, gold head.
I don't like how they sound.
You don't like Miis. I completely understand. And I don't really like the way they look. I know Frenzy Grind didn't like the way that they looked either before he's slowly transitioned too. So yeah, I don't know. It's like you do have to it's kind of sucks. We have to trade some of this aesthetic fun. We like fun things. I mean, it's half the reason I invest in half of what I do. But like, yeah, you do lose some of that aesthetic fun in exchange.
One thing I'm wondering though is that for the rate at which we're getting cap tickets, I don't know like about the other whales or the other players, but I'm starting to triple cap a lot of my normal and supers. And I'm wondering if we're gonna eventually get to a point where we can uncap the triple cap, the stuff that's already triple cap, including the IMs, so that they can reach the same scoring potential as the Miis. I'm wondering if this is something they're going to do in the future.
So we've talked a little bit about this just in off. So I think one of the questions that's come up is, could a 4th uncapping capability come out?
Yeah.
Which I think certainly is within the realm of possibility. Now, there's also the side question of, could it be capable for non-Mii items? but not be available for the Miis. And I'm actually slightly bearish on that. I don't think that that's possible. I don't think that they can offer something that they can offer to all the other items except for Miis and not offer it to Miis. But it's all speculation at this point, guys. Like
Yeah.
just like everything
yeah,
else,
but
Nintendo's
for
gonna do what they want to do, man.
but
Nintendo.
like for the player, the Mario Kart player base who doesn't like the Miis, that would be an attractive option. I'm just saying.
Oh, it would definitely be attractive. It would be the only way to not give the Miis the buffing that they've been slowly, incrementally, gradually over time, been absolutely slaughtering every single, all the Dr. Peaches, all the Dr. Bowsers, all the other guys. They're unfortunately, Draco, they're dead. And it's unfortunate because they're beautiful. I loved Dr. Peach. I love Dr. Bowser. If they would have given a plus skill, I mean, I'm in the healthcare field. I would have loved to invest in them. I would have loved to take them up. But like, even some of my regular coin boxers are being left in the dust. I leveled up Dry Bones Gold a couple times from this gold pipe. He's already dead to me because he's got the tiny hitbox and he's a coin boxer. So yeah, I don't know. These Miis have taken over, but that ship has left the station. I think I could attest to that.
Also, like what I'm fearing is like if we introduce a new cap for the drivers, like we mentioned, and what happened if we have 15 Miis? The Miis would be even higher than for a quadruple cap into the normal high end we already have. So what's the line here? Like it's gonna be tough. You have to make a choice, but if you're going for ACR, mostly the Miis would be probably the better choice because if you have 50 Miis, well, the base point will matters and counts a lot into your ACR runs. No matter what the skill you're gonna have, you're gonna choose the base point, and base point will give you the most points in the end.
We've gotten to the point now where we actually have to like run mathematical equations to see if the Bowser Mii Suit with the Bowser shell could be better than a Coinbox driver. Because you have the Mii Suits with, a relative high amount of actions, kind of a fun driver, and that it's a fun skill, or a Coinbox driver, and getting those base points. So, man, it's getting tough. I don't know what the end game is, but it does seem that we cannot no longer neglect the Mii Suits. I love talking about Miis because I every time I talk about it, like it becomes clearer and clearer that you have to invest in Miis. And I get it. They look silly. They look goofy. They literally don't look like they belong.
Yeah, listen,
I'll tell you something.
You know what? I'm the prime example. I was so anti-Mii. I wouldn't even give on them to the point where me and you were actually having battles about it. You're trying to talk me into why you need to do this, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm telling you, the minute I brought the gold Mii up and the question mark block, my scores have just gone through the roof. I can't even explain it. I got top 25 last tour, and I wasn't even trying for it.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding you. Like, I wasn't even trying.
Wow.
I'm going for a casual top 100 run. Sunday came 3 days before the tour was about to end, and I'm like, wow, I got a shot. So, I mean, I had the gold Mii in like 8 tracks. I was like, all right, let's go for it. Let's see how it goes.
And now, like today, I realize more about the shop of the Miis now, because now, like, we don't have any more pipe pulling. So now spending 100 rubies 200 to make a level up in your Miis, it's worth it now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the metas like now it's easier.
The Miis are powerful. You have to go in. You have no choice. You have no choice.
I'll tell you something. A double capped Donkey Kong Mii Suit is better for me at level 8 on Dino Jungle T right now than the Coinbox Daisy or Mario Tuxedo, which are still stuck at level 7 and double cap for me.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's how they're starting to creep up even on high-end Coinbox drivers.
So I know we've heard from some of our more whalish members, but I'd love to hear from Clownington and PepperRabbit. What and Draco too. What are your thoughts on the Miis? How do they fit into your specific game right now?
I'm not investing into them at all. I'm playing my game. If I don't make top 100 again, so be it. I really don't care. I'm gonna keep racing, gonna keep doing what I have. Yeah, I mean, you have to invest in the Miis. I don't really see that as a necessity to be successful in this game. If you the ranked algorithm, if you're going for ranks, you don't have to go for Miis. It'll
No.
compensate no matter what. If you don't score that well, the game's gonna compensate. If you score really well, it's gonna compensate. So if you go for top 100, top 10, yeah, I think Miis are pretty much necessity. Maybe even top 1,000 eventually, but for now, I don't know. I don't like the Miis at all, so I'm just not investing into them. I never bought a Mii from this shop. I've never really gone in ranked to get a Mii suit before. If I get second place, like this past week, I was actually first place until the last 40 minutes, and then someone got 10,000 on me at the last 40 minutes.
Oh.
So I didn't really care about it. I got coins instead, which is more for me. It's more it's better for that. But yeah, I think this week I'll be fine though. If I get in first place, I think I have 150,000, and the next person has 127. So
Nice.
I'll get the Mii suit, but I really don't care for it.
Well, just wait for those last 40 minutes. Hold your breath there.
I don't know. I have more than Jeeves at the moment. I have him on my friends list. I have currently beating
There you
him
go.
somehow.
There you go.
There you go.
Crush that guy. Other Chicagoton land guy, Clownington. What are your thoughts on the Miis?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think if you're someone who goes for top 100 or especially top 10 consistently, you have to invest in all of the Miis, or at least the really good ones. As someone, I'm in the same boat. As someone in ranked, I've never needed it. I think I am gonna do the question mark block suit. I'll take that up eventually, but it's not like a priority of mine. Yeah, I buy the ones I like. So I bought the cat suit, I bought the nabbit suit, but it's not like I ever needed them. It's just because I wanted them. I mean, I don't think I have a single Mii suit that's above level 3 on my account, and I'm on a pretty good trajectory to get tier 80 soonish. And then like I'm someone who's gotten top 1,000 for the last 6 tours, and honestly, I probably could have done it like the 6 tours prior as well. Like, and I can do it pretty easily. Like, I still need decent runs, but I don't need like 90% efficiency, so I don't need them for top 1,000 at the moment. Maybe down the line, but I got like 380 in the last ACR, and I don't have a single Mii above level 3, so you don't need it for that.
No.
Yeah.
For me, the only one I invest in heavily was the Coinboxer Mii Suit. This one gave me so much track, even if it's new. I think it's what I'm using like 4, 5, 6 times. But I mean, for week 1 of this week, I got like 100K, and I was using one track with bottom shell because my own purposes, and I still managed to win. So I don't really need the Miis to win, but it's good to having at least one if I want to compete top 1,000, but I still can manage it without having all the Miis at level up. So I would prioritize my drivers more now, but at least I'm happy to have at least one who has triple cap and level 6, at least a coinboxer, to help me a little bit to get some more points in if I really need in case of. But I mean, I love way too much my Dr. Peach. I cannot. I love it. It's
Absolutely.
I just cannot. I mean, tight easy, all of those drivers, holding them. I just like using them. They're just so much cooler and more challenging. And it's really challenging to use one items and still score like 20, 21, 22K.
Wow.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
I'm actually surprised you don't have the Yoshi Mii suit, to be honest with you.
I could not have it because I was not tier 50 at the time.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but now I'm tier 67, so I'm soaring closer to what I expect to tier 80, but it's getting scary now having those 100 higher K per week now.
Well, I know how much you love Yoshi, so that was my thought process.
Well, yeah, Yoshi never count, right? He never count, right?
There he is.
Draco hates Yoshi, by the way. Joke there. But no, I appreciate all the conversation about Miis. they're so weird because the game has made them so dominant in the meta, but we hate them. Like I don't think anyone's like, I love Mii suits. I love seeing my face on this like weird shaped animal thing. And like, I don't think anyone really feels that way. So it is strange. I do, and they keep building, and then because they keep building, I wonder like, when is like the volcano going to erupt? Like when is something's got to break at some point? When do they bring in a new meta? What's going to happen? And honestly, from my vantage point, because I go for top 10 or top 100 and occasionally go for top 10, like I have to invest in the meta. But I don't know. Maybe you guys are having more fun than I am, but trust me, I'm loving the game. But like,
I'm actually for like, are we gonna get like waves of new Mii suits at it to infinity, or is this gonna have an end?
Well,
an end point?
I thought the base point increase would have stopped like 6 tours ago, but it just keeps going. So now it's like
I'm
what,
surprised.
1650 or something?
I mean,
Oh,
Let's keep going.
50 triple cap.
Hammer Bro and Goomba next to it. That's another.
Yeah, I think they said like, they said 30 more at least, or something down the lines. We're gonna have a lot.
I mean, we're gonna have an 80K score eventually.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, if the base points end up being like 1800, then I'll start investing in these. How about that?
That's gonna come soon.
Yeah, if they don't stop. Yeah,
it might be too late.
Yeah, my friend.
Never too late for Peach costume. Never too late.
Matt Aldridge says, how much does coverage matter anymore? You know, we now have more tracks than we ever have, with retros returning less often. And then when they do, there are often new variants, which in turn also returns less often. At what point do you just want to invest in the new items and then throw caution to the wind? I mean, I think, you know, does it have to do with the whale scale? Like, is it like, you know, if you're 5 or below, that you just neglect the Miis? It kind of, at least from this call, it seems that's the way it should be. But I don't know. It's tough. I will say that I think if they had like kept a slow pace to introduce these new top skills, I think we probably all would have jumped on the Mii bandwagon a lot quicker. But I think with all these new skills and additionally to the Miis, I mean, there's even been talks with that. There's this, you know, pattern of a coinbox driver followed by a boomerang driver, which we've seen quite a lot this year and even into last year. So a lot of people are already talking about next tour, this Luigi Knight being a boomerang driver. I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. My personal hypothesis, I'd love to hear your viewpoint first, though. But I have a hypothesis on this, just about specifically Gold Chuck. But you guys think that this Knight will have boomerang?
I do.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Yeah, tell
Does
us.
Luigi have a bob-on cannon alt? No, I don't think
No.
he does. Eh?
No.
He didn't have boomerang. He didn't have Giga Bomb. He did have double bomb.
Double bomb.
We're extremely overdue for Lucky 7. I'm guaranteeing he's a Lucky 7 driver. We got Luigi Vacation at Boomerang. There's
It's
no
gonna
way
break the pattern because we did have a
Luigi
coin box.
Vacation with a Boomerang, and he's in next tour. There's no way they're gonna do
All right. Clownington, you said you don't believe it'll be. What do you think it'll be?
Well, I don't know if this is like 100% a fact, but wasn't Mario Samurai, like, wasn't he in like the trailer video for the Mario team?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's also going to be in the week 1 pipe. So I don't think they're going to put one of the newest boomerang drivers plus another boomerang driver.
No.
Plus the special pipes are probably going to be loaded with 3 coin boxers each with meta carts and meta gliders. So I think he's going to have some not so great skill. If I had to take a guess, I'd probably have to go with Bob Cannon, like Cathangel said.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Cannon Love. What do you think?
Well, it's not love, but he'll probably have
okay.
No.
it.
All right.
So,
Won't be pulling.
Yeah. What about you, PepperRabbit?
Yes, I could save.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have to agree with Frenzy Grind, maybe Lucky 7, because we haven't had one since February. That's a long time.
the last time was Los Angeles with Charge and Chuck.
Yeah, that's February 8th.
He just screams
Angeles.
Lucky 7 for me. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, Luigi has a lot of Lucky 7 alts already. I think they can.
He's just Luigi Painter. Who's the other one?
Classic
Luigi.
Sick, yeah.
Classic's a cool guy. Yeah, my thought process is, and you know, this pattern of a coin box driver followed by a boomerang driver has always been like the theme related guy in 100 pipe, and then followed by, you know, a boomerang driver of a, you know, a themed tour. And so, you know, my personal thought process is that Charging Chuck is an insert. He is a gold pipe, you know, separate from everything else that's going on in that tour, insert into that tour. And, you know, I think that with that insert, Nintendo has already broken their trend. And so, you know, and I think you kind of have to think about it as like, he is just anytime we have a gold pipe, it's not like a normal tied into the theme type of pipe. And so it's just, you know, it could have happened anywhere. And I think it you know, maybe that trend continues with this exception. But I do think that, you know, anytime we have a gold pipe, it's we've seen it. Geez, I don't know. We're probably up to 6 or 7 different gold pipes since the game has come into place. My thought process is that's enough of a trend break, a break in the pattern that they don't necessarily have to keep with that pattern. And I think someone brought up the point of I think it was the samurai pipe, where they're like, well, you know, Pink Shy Guy Ninja came in here's the thing is that he actually fits his theme. Like he is, I think the theme was something like banana, coin box, boomerang. Coin box, boomerang. That's whatever. But here's the thing is like Shy Guy Ninja Pink, he is, and literally everything in that pipe was the theme of the Samurai Tour. Like it is all ninja stuff. It is all like tied to the tour. That special pipe is tied to that tour. This gold pipe, you could have put this anywhere. We got a gold cheap charger. We have gold, you know, bunny. We got gold, all like everything is gold. It has nothing to do other than some of the drivers are bad guys. I don't think you can tie this to that theme. And because of that, I say that's already a pattern interrupt. You cannot hold that to the other patterns that we've seen. So it doesn't matter what it is. I don't think it's going to be boomerang, but you know, I've certainly been wrong before. So anyway, that's my personal hypothesis. I don't think it'll be boomerang. I like literally all of your suggestions. I really hope it's not boomerang because I already have some boomerang drivers I'm so far behind on. It's actually driving me pretty nuts. But anyone else want to put a prediction on what our new knight? I don't even know if his name will be Knight or if he'll be like Sir Luigi, or what we'll have in that respect.
It's bomb cannon or double bombs.
Okay.
That's mine. That's my prediction.
On love.
Those are the two items Luigi alts don't have, I think.
Luigi Golf is double bomb and
that's right. I forgot about him.
I don't know about bomb cannon.
Bomb cannon. No,
it doesn't have.
There's no bomb cannon Luigi alt.
I don't think so.
So yeah, okay, bomb cannon.
It'd be funny if he got heart, kind of like a theme of being a knight and trying to a princess or something like that. That'd be.
I would have to pull for
that.
Yeah, you would, man. That's he's not part of the Mushroom Legacy though.
He would not, but yeah,
he would protect the Mushroom Legacy hearts.
Yep.
He's so dramatic. I love him.
Hero of the Skies, as he said, even though I'm on hiatus, I'm in a situation in which which coinboxer should I level up? He's got Ty Daisy, Gold Chuck, and Block Mii Suit at level 1. I got all the Miis. I'm wondering which coinbox should he level up? What do you guys think?
Gold block, that's easy.
Yeah, I think if he has all the Miis, question block
okay.
makes the most sense.
Question block, yeah.
Suits, that's easy.
Daisy Ty, easy answer.
She's
crushing it.
Gold block suit.
Not bad, actually.
Gold block got a few unique tracks that don't have any other coin boxers.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
That's
but
why
she's crushing it.
Yeah.
Or if you like ranked a lot, you'll just maybe wait for Gold Chuck to be in ranked. I'm sure he's going to be all throughout the fall and winter.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about Gold Chuck? What do you think his trajectory is? Because he was not a spotlight, which is really, really rare. I don't know. What do you guys think? And his coverage to start was not great. So what do you guys think?
Nintendo's making a list with dollars before they go to no more pipes. That's why they did that. And they caught us all by surprise.
Yeah.
I'm
And
fearing
I
it
think,
again
yeah.
now.
I mean, look
I
at how
think
many
you'll-
people are spending 2,000 rubies to get this guy. I mean, they had a
Yeah.
plan. And we had no
Yeah.
idea.
I
hate to
think he
say
might.
it, like, I'm not trying to be nasty, but
Go ahead.
You're saying though you would have treated the special pipe differently if they would have announced this news 5 days earlier.
no, I did a triple reset and got him on my first pull.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm good.
Sorry, Kathy, what were you gonna say?
I was saying he might gain value slowly but surely. And I think he might have like a similar value as gold dry bones.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not good.
Well, yeah, no, the Bowser's castle at one point, like he was good for a while. But
He was the number
gained
one driver
he
back
slowly
in
gained
19
value.
As hard as they made him to get, if they don't give this guy good value, I really be upset.
I think it would be the same
Yeah.
value as the golden wings, I mean, with less track, but maybe a
Yeah.
little bit higher than. I mean, he doesn't already have 30 track, so I would definitely give him 30 track as the same value as golden wing.
I mean, I'm being honest. I shouldn't feel this way, but I feel terrible that I got him on my first 10 pull. I'm watching people on
Should.
ER and other people who took like
So dirty.
1,000, 1,500 rubies to get him. I'm like, I feel terrible. I'm like,
I mean, I didn't even pull for
I
that
don't
pipe.
gloat. I'm like, I don't want to even talk about it. I'm just walking away. I'm just,
But
feel
I never
horrible.
pulled. I never pulled for that pipe, so don't feel bad. I
Not
spent
you.
0.
not you.
I was like you. I got him on the first couple of resets, so you're not alone.
So yeah, my personal thought process on charging Chuck is I remember Kevin Garrett mentioning just in general, special pipe new items hit their peak like earlier, like they hit a really strong value earlier in their life cycle compared to 100 pipe items. And I take a little different approach. I do think that their peak is higher than other items in general, like new spotlights or new items in pipes. Now, if it's a non-spotlight, man, I always think that ceiling is even higher than that ceiling. So I actually think the charred gold Chuck will be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think I actually think that it's gonna take a month or two. But I don't think it's gonna be like I think the tour that we say, oh my gosh, this gold Chuck is phenomenal. It's like the anniversary. Like when we're
Yeah, it's
there,
gonna take a while.
Yeah.
we'll
I
be sitting there
agree.
in the anniversary. We'll like end of the month, maybe even next month. We'll be like, dude, this guy is absolutely crushing it. They gave him like 6 buffs, all exclusive. It's gonna all happen. It's gonna all happen at once. But again, I think kind of going back to our conversation earlier, just save your tickets, guys. You don't have to throw tickets on him right now. Right now, his value is not going to help you. And so if you save up your tickets, when he does help you, you have the tickets available, but you'll know much more then. I do think that he will be really strong. In fact, the fact that his starting value is so terrible, I actually think that's going to make him.
They're gonna build on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna
really
build
do.
on it.
Like,
One thing
Then
that
forever by New Year.
One thing I remember, I don't know if you guys remember when Abdallah covered the Mario Kart Tour.
Oh yeah.
Used to say that like when we had those special pipes, Nintendo loves gold items. And if you think back, a lot of gold items, like whether it be drivers, carts, or gliders,
Mhm.
ended up having terrific value. Not all of them, obviously, because like I can think of maybe Gold King Boo is like the exception to the rule. But I also remember that he was a gold pass gift, so that's probably maybe why
Yeah.
The
his
gold pass
value
items are
took
not that
a
good.
dip a little bit
Yeah.
after that. But if you look at all the gold items, they end up having a decent value, and he was right, I think.
I think that was a different generation in some sorts, but I think you're onto something. I think in general, I think gold items have like the same rate as awesomeness for gold items. The thing is that there's just less gold items than there are other items, and so I think maybe that's it's like a slight increase in perspective compared to the other non-spotlight items. But yeah, I mean, how can you argue with that when you see golden wings up there? You see,
Golden wings.
Too good.
Then you used to have like gold swooper, gold crane. And then there was, well, I don't know if you guys used to use it, but the gold egg, and it still has some value.
Mhm.
And gold cheap charger as out of kind of resurgence as of late.
Yeah, it keeps getting buffs
Yeah.
like Koopa Cape.
Koopa Cape,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm using on Koopa Cape.
Yeah.
I'm using as well. I do think though, 2021 was not a great year for gold items, for what it's worth. I think Golden Wings seemed like to be the only. I don't know. They did kind of like. I feel like they took advantage of us a little bit last year with some of the gold items. It just didn't have as much value. But yeah, year one, dude. Man, those gold items, you couldn't beat them. You couldn't avoid how awesome that they were for sure. Good. Kind of want to hit on one little question before we wrap up, because we are closing in on our 2-hour scale. Can you guys believe that?
That's too fast.
How crazy!
time flies.
Time
Yeah,
flies when
time
you're
Every
having
2
fun.
weeks it goes faster and faster.
Yep. You know what? I'll take your question, Clownington, if that's okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You want to run with that?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to read it?
It's your question.
Oh, sure. I'll read it. Here, let me. All right. So, what do you guys think some of the sleeper OP Karts Gliders of 2022 are? We all see the rundown each tour, but are there any non-top 15 items that have helped you tremendously this year? So I'll start. So I talked mad smack about the Candy Clown in a Frenzy Fans video a few months ago. I mean, it wasn't very good, but then it got one of the Sky High Sunday tracks, and I already took it to 6,595. So, but it got. I like that. I also invested in the Sweet Ride. I don't like to talk about that.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Like, it's one of my favorite carts, but it's
You guys are hurting me
absolutely.
here.
It's a
And
cool
every time
looking
it gets
car.
buffs on an older track, it's always when I already had like pretty good coverage on. But the Candy Clown got one of the new Bowser Castles, so I'm using that for rank this week. And last tour, it got one of the Sky High Sundays where I didn't have any other good option. So.
But the Sweet Ride actually has a good hitbox. So
It does.
the Candy Clown, that was just so tiny.
I know, but I'm not both tracks I used it on. I wasn't using Coinbox anyway, so I didn't.
Okay. All right.
It didn't
That's a good
matter.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm using
Okay.
Peach Happy this week, so it doesn't. Yeah,
it's
Oh,
just
I'm getting the shivers thinking about it.
I'm a Candy Clown supporter. I think.
I'm gonna go into the opposite right. Can I choose the drivers?
Sure.
Sure.
whatever,
Cat
yeah.
Rosa. Cat Rosa, since
Aw.
January, she keeps surprising me. I took her level 7, I think, like on the first tour, the second tour, probably like the second tour she released. Every time I see her, like recently, like Singapore, she got a ranking buff. Sunday, she got a ranking buff, and always different from my Volandems, and she keeps surprising me. And even week 1, or even this tour, she got another buff. Like, she's so amazing, and I think I used it like 5 or 6 times this time. Like, that's perfect for me, but it keeps surprising me at level 7 double cap. Like, amazing. I want her level 8 now.
Rico, I am really happy for you. I'm glad
Thank
that you are using it.
She is good, and she is on the. You remember the card you told me to buy in the commemorative? Oh, the Red Crawley is so good. Well, Cat Rosa is paired with the Red Crawley at the same track.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I wish that card performed better, but yeah, the commemorative items haven't been very hot this year either. Well, hey, no, I appreciate that, Drake. Like, Drake, I really hope that that's why I love this. Like, when I see Mushroom Legacy items being buffed, I'm really happy, because I'm like, oh, Draco probably has that at a high level. And it gets me really excited when I see you using Volendam and some of the actually top skills. I just also know that, like, for what it's worth, you're handcuffing yourself a little bit, because you're on purpose, because you have this very unique strategy. So, like, I know that you're using Rosalina, Cat Rosalina, but, like, someone could be using another top skill, just like 2 levels down, and probably outscoring you. But, like, that's what's awesome about your strategy. It's awesome about Mushroom Legacy. And because you're still able to overcome all those odds and get top 1,000, 2 tours in a row, 3 tours in a row?
I did two tours in a
2
row.
tours in a
Yeah.
row, man. That's phenomenal. I have so much respect for the way that you're playing the game, because, like, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage and you're still shutting down the competition. So absolutely love it, man. Great job there.
Thank you.
Anyone want to be able to add to the list of other carts that may not be in the top, or Karts and Gliders. And I will preface this in saying that, Antelev and I had a discussion probably about 2 tours ago. We said, is there something we could be doing better for the cart, specifically the carts algorithm? And one of the things I said is like, the hitbox is always going to be king. And so there are so many great items that have great coverage, but maybe not a great hitbox, like you said with this candy cart. I don't even know the name of it because
Candy Clown.
Candy Clown. Sorry. Well, you do have clown in your name, kind of. So
I'm taking notes.
Is that why you did it?
I feel like it's
A lot of people call me Clownington by mistake, and I have to
I
correct
like
them.
it. We'll do that the rest of the show. But no, he asked me, was like, do you think that we should make any tweaks to the carts? And I said, you know what? I think at the end of the day, the most important thing people look at when it comes to carts is the hitbox size. Like that will always be, whether you're free to play, gold pass only, a whale, like that's always something you should look at. But you bring up a good point. There's plenty of plus skills that doesn't matter how big your cart is. And so for me, like my top 2 carts this year have been Tropical Truck and the Secure Hot Rod. And these have been, and the White Bruiser right there. And so none of them have a big hitbox. These are all I have. All of them have been at 8,700. And I'm using each one of them 3 or 4 times every single tour for all cup ranking. And I absolutely love them all, but I honestly don't think they'll ever break the top 10 because they have an average size hitbox. So it's tough because I had to make that call. And I said, you know what? We still have to make hitboxes. So I think probably carts more than any other item in the game, there will be a difference. There will be someone who says, I really like the Sweet Ride. I really like this cart, but they may not be in the top 10, especially because we have so many carts. If you think about the top 10 is only like, 3% of all the carts because we have so many. But love to hear which ones specifically carts. I'd love to hear, especially which ones would you like to toss into the mix?
Line T Coupe.
Great Cat Cruiser.
Ooh.
Those are some good ones for coverage.
Line T Coupe is very useful on a lot of city tracks. Has been very useful on a lot of city tracks this year.
Yes, it is.
I kept getting surprised. It kept showing up. It built from when we got the Paris Promenade 3 onwards. It just kept building. But it's more for city tracks than for main tracks. But it helps me out on a couple of main tracks as well.
That's what I was going to ask. Is like if it does have a dominance in city tracks, do you treat it any differently?
If it was strictly city tracks, I would wait before investing. But if it has a lot of city tracks, but plus a little bit of main tracks, I would invest. I would have more incentive to invest in it, which is what I did with Line T Coupe, and it's one of my very few level 8 carts right now.
Wow.
Impressive.
Others.
I mean, the Great Cat Cruiser.
Yeah, Great Cat Cruiser is pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's a good one.
Even though I don't have
there.
it.
Yeah.
I buy the pack for that. I was like, too good now.
That thing has so many tracks and like hard to cover ones too.
Yeah, true.
It's
remember
still
the-
like,
I
Yeah.
looked at the Great Cat Cruiser because there was a car talk when we were on with Stan Luna, and I remember he brought up the Great
Yeah.
Cat Cruiser, and I never even thought about looking into that car because of how small.
No.
And then he brought up how many tracks it gave him. So I looked at it the next day, and I was like, wow, this thing gives a lot of tracks. I was
Mhm.
talking to Jeeves. I was like, this cart is really good.
Yeah.
I still just couldn't give in just due to the size. But yeah, it really is a quality cart. I just
When we had
due to the hitbox, I
the
couldn't do it though.
when
Yeah.
we had the Berlin Amsterdam tour,
Mhm.
Great Cat Cruiser was on covered a lot of tracks at once, and I hadn't even invested in it yet. It just imposed itself from then on.
I mean, this tour, this week too is on the buff with the coin box. Last
Mhm.
tour it was Rosalina again in rank. It's every single tour it's on rank.
Sky High Sunday.
Sky High Sun is on rank every time. It like coverable. It had everything. That's just rank on rank on rank. That's so good.
I
All
would
right.
tell everybody, do not sleep on the A lot of people in the community know I'm a big fan of the balloon gliders. You could ask Jeeves, God Mode, anybody in the community. The Aurora balloons, I told you
Oh,
a couple of
yeah.
car tours ago, that thing would be in the top 10. It was. I think it came in the 10th spot, maybe 2 rundowns ago. I don't think it's still there, but that's okay. The tropical balloons also is up and coming. I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
those gliders
nice
man,
looking.
are insanely good looking, and they are powerful.
I did listen, and I made the call.
Draco listened. Tropical balloons, I'm telling you, they're
I'm
coming.
ready.
If I could just magically have any glider at level 700, I would request for it to be the tropical balloons. It looks awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You know what? It's interesting, right? So gliders, there's not glider skill doesn't matter as much, you know, and it does to a certain extent, but I still think that's overhyped. But we don't have as many gliders as we have karts, and so I think that you can ride out a glider quite a while.
Yeah.
I know we've basically had the top 4 gliders for like the last, I don't know, probably since like February or March. It's been Golden Wings, Wonderful Wings,
Candlelight.
Daylight Flight, and then
Mhm.
Record Setter have been all right there. And so I feel bad because I know there's fans of each. I know specifically Tyler jumps in there, and he's a member, and he believes that the Record Setter is the #1 glider, and it's OP, and it's been more dominant than the Black Sail, and comments a lot about it. And I think it's good, but it's so hard because you have these four gliders that have been all so good, and I don't think any one of them. I mean, maybe Golden Wings, but none of them have been as dominant as the Black Great Sail. Black Great Sail has been just, last year was just probably the craziest year.
Black Great Sail, yeah.
Any glider. But it's so weird because like all 4 of these gliders are awesome. And at the same point in time, I'll see like Sammy D's like, the Wonderful Wings, it just always had every track that I had Golden Wings, and I wanted to invest in Golden Wings, but I had Wonderful Wings. And then I heard the same thing about other people with Candlelight Flight, and other people with Record Setter. And it's like, I don't know, gliders are like their own beast too. We don't talk about them very often, but like they actually have, when they have good coverage, like they have pretty good coverage for you for quite a while because we don't have as many of them as karts. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm just kind of ranting at this point, but what are your thoughts on any gliders? Am I making any sense?
For me, the 8-foot
absolutely.
Fireflower is very underrated. It gives me a ton of tracks.
I think we talked about it now, almost 40 tracks. It's like 39.
It's yeah.
Which one?
It's crazy.
8-bit Fireflower.
Oh yeah. I just triple capped it.
Wow.
It's not quite Black Great Sail, but it's a notch below for me.
I'm thinking on it right now.
Shot up to #2 on my chart.
Yeah.
And it's what, like 18 months old or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a long time. All right, guys. Well, we're here at the end of our episode. So thank you guys all for taking the time, the last 2 hours already, to join us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've talked a lot about the battle mode. We talked a lot about the pipes and the rubies coming back. We've talked a lot about Miis. We've had just a lot of fun in general. So what we normally do at this time of the show is just hear from you. What's one piece of advice that you would give to a new player who started in maybe the last 2 or 3 months? What advice would you give them to either jump into the moving train that is Mario Kart Tour, or maybe to be able to handle the mental game along the way? So no one's done that this much, quite like Frenzy Grind. So why don't we start with you? Show these rookies how it's done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the new update because I think that's where everybody's going. So what I'm gonna say is don't be nervous. You're hearing a lot of things out there in the community. You're getting nervous. People are saying things. Just wait and see. Give it a chance. Look at level 7 and 8. Everybody was scared, and I'm not gonna use the curse word, but you know what I mean. 'Cause I don't want to kick you off of YouTube. We like what we do.
No, thank you. And coming from New York, I know it's a battle every time you come out here.
I'm an Italian family. Trust me, not cursing is hard. But we have a lot of questions and no answers. So we just have to roll with it. Let's just play the game, enjoy the game, invest in what we love, and just wait for the update to drop. Let's see what happens. We
Mhm.
all wanted to quit the game when level 7 was introduced. We all wanted to quit the game when level 8 was introduced. Me personally, I adapted. I spoke to my friends in the community. We all adapted. We figured it out. We moved on. We love the game. It is what it is. So just don't get stressed out. Don't look for ways to quit. We love the game. Just wait for everything to drop. Let's put all the pieces together and just see how it goes before you make your determinations.
Mhm.
Because I'm telling you, we might be surprised. I get it. I love pulling pipes like anybody else in the community. Let's just see how they do it. Give it a chance.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I mean, I think that Nintendo's met a lot of crossroads this year. A lot of positions where they could have gotten worse or could have gotten better. And I think across the board, they haven't let us down. This has been the best year of Mario Kart Tour, hands down.
Yeah.
I also feel like that this, having to move away from the gacha, I do think that they'll reward us to some extent that we've put up with
Yeah.
the gacha as long
I
as
don't think this is a change they specifically wanted to make. I think they were forced into it. So I think
I agree.
they'll find other ways to reward us and make up for how we have to play the game so differently now. So again, I'm just going to stress it. Just let it drop. Let's see how it goes and then make your determinations.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Cathangel, what would you say to a new player, maybe even somebody that's coming over here, trickling in, saying, "What's this battle mode all about? What are these? What's this Kart Talk thing that people are doing?" To someone who's just tuning in, who maybe new to the game, what piece of advice would you give them?
About battle mode specifically or the game in general?
Just the game in
Because
general. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
I would say don't try to be like don't try to leapfrog don't try to get ahead by pulling too much at once. Be patient. That's a key point. And wait for the update. Yeah, because you're getting into a game where the rules are about to change a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see how we strategize with no more pipe pulls. And always remember that this is a game, so make time for the game, but also make time for a life outside the game because it has its pitfalls.
Well said. Well said. Draco, we'll stick within ER as we answer these questions. What piece of advice would you give a new?
I mean, those are all great answers from a lot of people here, but I mean, the best advice is, of course, leveling up those princesses, Mushroom Legacy. They are the king of the games. I mean, to be honest, we play all the meta games, but I think a lot of people realize now we need to shift a little bit from the meta games. There's Coinboxer, Boomerang. Don't need to have all of them. I'm not even using all of them. You can do goods in the games. Just enjoy the game, have fun, save your rubies, and just invest in princesses. They're good. They're actually good. If I can do it, you can do it. The Miis, no worries. Mushroom Legacy all the way, baby.
Yeah.
I like it. PepperRabbit, what piece of advice would you give to a new player?
So I guess I would say that this game it's a little bit different than what you're probably used to if you're into racing games. The whole point of this game is to get as many points as possible. So try to get those coin box drivers leveled up. Hitbox is king, so you want a big cart with a lot of tracks. Just I would take your time, especially with this game. It does take a while to get your ruby stash up and to get things that you want to get. So save your rubies until you find something that you want to get and invest into it. Don't use your it's more of a high-end game. So saving your high-end tickets for things that is going to help you along the way will help you dramatically. And the newer the item, the better it is. The newer the item, the better it is currently. So if you're worried about old value, if you get old value in pipes or whatever, I wouldn't worry about them too much. The newer the item, the better, I think. And yeah, just have fun, learn to drive, learn to drift, especially.
Yeah.
Keeping the combo is especially important to get those high scores.
It's a good point. Yeah, I think in general, yeah, you do have to ask yourself, what do I enjoy about this game? You know, I can't love the red off-roader and also love the Goo Goo Black and love this and love that. You can't love everything. So, I mean, you have to ask yourself, what do I really like? And, for me, I'm doing it in a different way. For me, it's like, I went for top 10 or, to get in the top 20, 4 tours in a row, which I was able to get top 24 tours in a row. But then I had to ask myself, like, do I have to keep, kind of floundering in this top 20, or can I go for top 10 when I really, really, really love the badge? So I'm looking out for Waluigi. I'm gonna start saving, and I've already saved a lot the last 2 tours. I did drop a lot of tickets on this Cact B because it looks sick.
I did the move.
For me, I'm like, I love pink. I love, like, that's my thing. It's my jam. So I put tickets on it, but I have, over, I think like 11 or 12 drivers and gliders already. And so I am waiting for that day, but I can't just love everybody. For me, like, that's my way of taking that to a top 10 experience. And we'll see what happens. Maybe my schedule will work out. Maybe it won't, if that comes up. But yeah, you bring up a great point. You can't love everything. So just pick what you love. It is a high-end game. And I think it's Antelope sometimes says, if you're starting literally a new account, just wait. I mean, you don't need to put tickets on stuff right away. I know it's like, this is fun, but like, if you know what you want, just wait for what you want to do. If you have to, like, I think you could probably go pretty heavily into maybe Gold Chuck and Mario Samurai. You could crush it pretty well.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, just having fun. But guys, I think what I loved about this episode was just so many perspectives of what we find fun. Doesn't have to be, maybe you get more points from a Mii. Maybe you don't, but you're using, Rosalina Cat, or you're using another driver that you really like using that's not a Mii. So, hey, do what you got to do. Find what you love in this game and go for it. Hopefully you guys would all agree with that. But Clownington, what would you say?
Sort of piggybacking what you guys said. If you're someone who wants to rank up the tiers or go for tier or top 1000 eventually, and you're a newer player, if you want to invest in the meta and all the great drivers, you watch the rundown, you fill out the spreadsheets, you join the Discord servers, do that. If you just want to pick your favorites, like say you're a diehard Birdo fan and you just want to take White Birdo to 1400, and that's what you want to do that too. No one's stopping you. I mean, you can only play how you want to play. If you're someone who only cares about multiplayer, take all your hard drivers up. Like, just play how you want to play and don't let anyone else. Like, we're all offering like great suggestions to like boost your account to like get to tier 80 or get top 1000. But like, if you want to take Birdo, and it takes a lot of time. It will take months. It will take years, especially if you're a new player, because you're also playing catch up. But if you want to take Birdo White to 1400, do it.
And I think that we are at a point in the community where we've accepted that, right? I don't think I think like
for sure
early on we would have shamed somebody. We'd be like, why aren't you doing Peach Vacation? She's like the queen, she's killing it. Why would you invest in this not skilled driver? But I think at this point in time, I don't know what's changed in our psyche, but I think we all realize that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're all playing a silly go-kart cartoon game, and we're all just trying to have fun in different ways. So I appreciate you all taking the time to join us here on Kart Talk, as well as also those who have joined us for the over 2 hours listening live. But it's an absolute pleasure every time being able to do this, and wish you guys the best in ranked and in all cup ranking. And I hope that you guys are able to save as we get into this crazy update at the end of the month going into October. So with that being said, may the frenzy luck be with you. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.